Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Jesse with the Leduc Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, and I'm here with your November real estate market update. So I'll share a few statistics with you about the kind of the greater Edmonton area in general and just kind of where we sit. And then I'm going to share something with you that I've experienced recently that explains a lot. Okay, so stay tuned for that. So real quick, this is kind of another really boring update as far as stats go, just because things are kind of similar to what I was talking about last month. Everything's kind of down a little bit, right? I mean, the average price of a single family home, it's down just over 1%. Condos are down another almost 9% from this time last year. Where duplexes and row housing, they're down just over 2%. So a lot of actually similar statistics to last month. The amount of listings that are currently for sale is up by about 4%. And of course, the number of homes and properties that are actually selling is the biggest decrease of 14% from this time last year. So we know this already. We know that this is a buyer's market, right? So if you have something on the market to sell, not the best time to do that, right? In most cases. So here's something that I've experienced recently while working with some clients, actually, and it was kind of interesting because they kind of help you see through that, because a lot of times, we can get a bit of a skewed view of what's going on in the market because we're too far in, where a lot of the general public reads the headlines and they're just getting bits and pieces. So their kind of version of the truth is skewed kind of the other way. So, but this was really interesting. So going out looking at houses, and if you're looking at two-story homes that are relatively new, let's say 10 years old or newer, anywhere from 1,800 square feet to 2,200 square feet, these are going to range anywhere from about 375 to about 450, give or take. Okay, so, and there's a million of them for sale on the resale market. But what's not so obvious sometimes is how many are for sale on the brand new market. So how many spec homes are available. So not how many lots are available that builders are building on, because you can't really just track those that easily. It doesn't really mean much because they take a year to build and whatever. But how many spec homes are builders throwing up and putting on the market, whether it's directly through the show home or even up on MLS, right? The answer was throughout the summer and spring. It was staggering, the amount of spec homes they had. So what they're doing is at the beginning of the year and we get into spring, they're building all these houses, putting up all these spec homes. And what they're doing is they're able to price them under what a lot of these resale homes are listed at. So here's a perfect example. Okay, you have a 2,000 square foot two-story home that's 5 years old, and the landscaping's done, the fence is done, the deck is done. You have the window coverings, you've got air conditioning, you got some mature-ish trees starting to happen in the backyard and in the front and along the street and things like that. No construction around, no dust, no noise, all that kind of thing, right? So you have something like that, and that's at, I don't know, 440 grand, okay? Then you got a 2,000 square foot, two-story brand new home, bright and shiny, still smells new, right? You have the show home to go through to look at, and of course they make the show home always look the best, right? Really tiny furniture, staged really well, beautiful decor that most of us can't afford, things like that, right? So you fall in love with it, right? Look, I've done this a few times myself. You go into a show home, oh my God, you buy the damn thing, right? I've done that before. So which one is the buyer going to choose? Because now the builder, what they're doing is they're going to price that home that's essentially the same as this other one that's 5 years old, really, really close, except this brand new one still has $30,000 worth of stuff to do on it. And no one believes me when I say that, but by the time you do a deck and a fence and landscaping and window coverings, and if you want to put air conditioning on it and things like that, you're talking like anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000, depending on how crazy you get. Easily, okay? It does not take long to spend that. But buyers, it's really hard for them to look past the bright and shiny. So what they're doing is they're not choosing this one that's 3 years old, 5 years old. They're choosing that brand new one. And builders know this. They're not dumb. And so that's how they're pricing their homes effectively. Well, what's happened now is that's why none of these resale homes were selling all summer and running into the fall here. But they've started to sell recently, and it was kind of like, I wonder why this is happening. Well, we went out and looked at 1 million homes recently, and a lot of it we're looking at brand new versus a few years old. There's not very many spec homes left. So we're starting to see this shift again. Now all these builders are running out of spec homes to sell. right? Because they're not digging a lot of holes right now and putting new spec homes in over the next few months here. They're going to kind of wait till the spring for that. So they're running out of spec homes to sell, which means they're going to stop fire saling their homes compared to the brand new resale market, which in turn is now starting to see some of this resale stuff start to go. So it was an interesting exercise these last couple of weeks, kind of going through that and seeing that firsthand. Like I said, these are kind of the subtle differences you notice when you're doing this on a day-to-day basis, and so it was really cool to see. So if you are someone who's like, oh my god, I'm not going to sell my home this year because nothing's selling, like, yeah, like, look, it's going to be difficult for you, more difficult to sell than it's going to be to buy something, absolutely. But there's starting to be a shift now. These resale homes are starting to move quite rapidly, so might be something to think about. And remember, if you're selling something and you're buying something, well, one of those is going to suck. There's no such thing as a perfect market. Right now, selling something sucks. Buying something, no problem. You got a million things to look at. You can be really aggressive on your prices, and away you go. Okay, so there's just kind of something a little, a bit of a change that I've noticed recently. It's pretty cool. So all in all, we're still in a pretty heavy buyer's market. The best indication of that is how many months of inventory is available for people to buy. There's about 7 months of inventory available. A nice balanced market is kind of that 3 months or so. So anyways, that's where we're sitting, and kind of a cool thing that I've noticed recently. I hope it makes sense to you. If you want some clarification or if you have questions, anything like that, just feel free to reach out anytime. Hope everybody has a great day. We'll talk to you soon.